Today I will guest 𝗦𝗓 Johnson. She's a specialist in Pinterest, and I decided to look up for someone who could share their expertise about Pinterest, because in my past business, it was a product-based business. I was a jewelry designer for 9 years, and I used very much the Pinterest as one of my social medias to promote my business. But for this business, I didn't even consider that. And some time ago, I saw another introvert coach from a different area saying that she was quitting Instagram. It was very draining for her, and she was putting her attention and intention on Pinterest. And I thought that very interesting because I didn't even consider it. But then I remembered, yes, I have content saved from other coaches, and that will uh, uh, will be sent to their blogs, to their websites, and whatsoever. So I thought, yes, maybe for other introverts, this is a way of that can help them also to show up, but in a different way. So be very welcomed, 𝗦𝗓. Please tell us a little bit about us, and then we will start our conversation.
My name is 𝗦𝗓 Johnson. I'm a Pinterest marketing strategist and the creator of the 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦 collection, which is a monthly resource that helps creative entrepreneurs, even extroverts, introverts, grow their visibility using strategic on-brand Pinterest content that takes away the constant pressure of showing up online like Facebook and Instagram. Like no one is unaware of that. Showing up on social media feels like a necessary evil, but I have seen many businesses go non-traditional routes with growing their business and have been quite successful. So I have a background in the wedding industry. I am a former wedding planner, and so I've always been on Pinterest regardless of what industry I've been in. I just never really thought about using it within my own content strategy. So over the years, I have specialized in helping service-based entrepreneurs turn their offers, their opt-ins, their blogs into evergreen traffic and lead generation machines, utilizing Pinterest as a visual search engine. So I like to approach any strategy session or client work on a sustainable, simple, easy way to show up so that it feels aligned and not exhausting. Because if I'm exhausting my clients, I'm not doing a good job. So I talk about all of these things one-on-one with my clients in VIP strategy calls. I host a podcast called the 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗘𝗦, and that's where I really focus weekly content on empowering others to create a marketing presence that works while they rest.
Tell me, 𝗦𝗓, what makes Pinterest a good and a powerful visibility tool for introverts?
One, I think it's a great platform just because of how it's built. It is not like a social media platform where content is literally designed to disappear within 24 to 48 hours. That is this almost industry standard, and then you have to create new content. But stories can sometimes disappear faster than that. If you are on Twitter or X, like that's almost, someone was telling me it's like 10 minutes, and then you need a new tweet, you need a new piece of content on that platform. And that already sounds exhausting. So what I love about Pinterest is that it supports a more intentional, low pressure way of marketing your business, which is why it works so well for introverts or creatives who don't want to hustle all season long, all year long. They can spend their time, energy on one good, high quality piece of content and then break it down into multiple pieces or pins, all leading to the same place. So it's like a magnet pulling them in.
And they also have, it also has the possibility of scheduling, right?
Yes. I wouldn't do anything without a scheduler. So Pinterest has a native built-in scheduler. You do have to have a business account for that, which is free. And you can schedule, I think, up to 2 months. And you can as many pins as you want to, really, within that time frame. There's also there's third-party schedulers. The most common one is Tailwind, and that allows you, if you have the capacity, to schedule much farther than the 1 or 2 months. And then again, you can schedule however many pins you want in a day.
Yes, I used Tailwind in the past, and I know I didn't use the full capacity it had, but it was very, very helpful. Yes. So tell me, how does Pinterest help you build a long-term growth without the daily posting? It's also about scheduling, but is there more that we can do to a long-term growth?
So I think first is to recognize that it's a discoverability platform. So it really operates more like Google. So having that mindset and understand the user mindset is the biggest indicator of how to be successful on Pinterest, because people are not just doom scrolling and looking to be entertained. They are actively searching for a solution to whatever their problem they have, or problems. And that could be anything from how to be more productive in life, how to lose 10 pounds, how to live a healthier lifestyle, how to get ready for this long road trip that me and my family are taking, how to vacation with kids, how to brand a business, how to build a business, how to launch a business. Like, people are searching for these solutions. Most importantly with my clients, how to plan a wedding, because that's what their clients are looking for. But there are millions and billions of users on Pinterest, and they're all looking for something and planning for something, whether that's what they're cooking this week, or even on, like I said, the grander scale of, I want to change my life and launch a business. How do I do that? And they're going to find those answers on Pinterest. When I redid my rebrand, it all happened on Pinterest. I had mood boards, inspiration boards that I was able to take to my photographer. I mapped out my outfits for styled shoots for me to have updated brand photos, my colors, fonts. Everything was broken down and built up through Pinterest boards that were private, because obviously I didn't want to mess up my algorithm. But it's the only platform where the content that you create today can still live on and drive leads 6 months or longer from now, as long as you take the time to utilize keywords. So looking at Pinterest trends, knowing your ideal audience and what they would be searching for. Don't think of Pinterest as something like, what do you want to do, or how do you want to help them per se. It's, what are they going to be searching for that can lead them to you? And so your blog posts, your free resources, anywhere that you share your expertise, even on a blog post or YouTube video, a TikTok reel, something, you can put that content on Pinterest, utilizing the keywords and things that they're going to be looking for.
And one thing I can relate very much Pinterest, like a close form of YouTube, although it's a very different thing, because both of them we cannot tell they are social media platforms. They are search platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Correct.
we can find content from 10 years ago if we type the things, the keywords, like you were saying. We can find content that gets there over and over through the years, and then we can categorize and save privately, like we can do on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And we can build kind of playlists, folders, where we can save and categorize the content. So for our ideal client, find us 3 years after we post, 10 years after we post, it's important to have good keywords like you were saying, which is very attached with what SEO is. So can you tell us, for those who don't quite know what SEO is, can you tell a little bit about that and how it works?
So I love that question. I constantly am reminded of, I just talk and just assume everybody knows what I'm talking about, like SEO. So SEO is search engine optimization, which is why it's so important to think of Pinterest like a search engine, a discoverability platform. Pinterest SEO is basically very similar. The practice of optimizing your pin content, so your titles, your descriptions, the text overlay, your profile bio, your boards, even the website content, so that they show up in Pinterest search results organically. So Pinterest is a visual search engine, so the graphics are just as important, but keywords matter just as much as the visuals. So that's why knowing whenever I work with a client or anyone that's interested in Pinterest, I make sure to recommend that you know who your ideal client is. Like, build up that avatar so that you know who you're trying to attract, because they're the ones that are searching for you and you won't have to chase them. So those relevant keywords get trickled into all of those places. You want to create high quality vertical images, and then pin consistently to the relevant boards that work for you, like that align with the content, because Pinterest loves consistency, but it also loves to make that the content that you're sharing aligns with where it's going. So that's where making sure your website is also optimized with those keywords, and it helps them know that you're a true one, you're a real person, and two, you're not spam.
Yes, I love that. And you have heard an important thing, websites. Is it mandatory to have a website to be on Pinterest?
I feel like yes and no. Because you can just have an opt-in page or a landing page and link to that, and have funnels built up, nurture sequences through an email marketing platform, no problem. You can also link directly to an Instagram post. So if you just want to have a social media presence and not have to pay for a website domain, it is possible. So it's not mandatory, but it is highly recommended, just so that you can drive traffic and leads and have more touch points. I think the last statistic I saw was it takes 7 to 12, and it might even be more than that, touch points before someone buys from you. And so if you're only leading them to an Instagram post, they're only going to see that side of your business. We want to be able to send them to a blog or to your free opt-in, so that now they have a email nurture sequence to create additional touch points to build that know, like, and trust factor, so that they want to not only work with you, but then refer you to their community and networks without you having to, again, lift a finger, because you've already done all that work.
Yes, that's wonderful. And you were referring to the 7-11-4 Google rule. Google made some tests and found that for a person to build trust with you and to buy from you, they need to at least consume 7 hours of your content in at least 11 different type of content, and in at least 4 different type of platforms. That's why it can be overwhelming, mostly for introverts, but it's important to be a little bit everywhere. Many people say be where your ideal client is, but nowadays most of us are all over the place. Not that, of course, we are mostly we have a preferred social media or a search engine, because Pinterest, YouTube, Google are more search engines, right? So we have our favorite ones, but we tend to go most all over the place. Some we don't go there, but it's true that we need to be a little bit in everywhere. And I like it one thing you said, that we can use Pinterest to send people to Instagram, to YouTube. So mostly with Instagram, that content vanish in very fast. Nowadays they are boosting the posts a little bit more, but it's not enough. It vanish very fast. People have their their attention span is decreasing over time, even more, even less than a goldfish. We were equiparated with a goldfish. Nowadays, our attention span is less than a goldfish. So it's a little bit alarming. And yes, we need to be a little bit all over the place. And Pinterest is good because even on Instagram, where you lose content very fast, you can use Pinterest to go back to that content that on Instagram we don't see it anymore, past 4-6 days or less. And on Pinterest, a year after, if you have good keywords, you can reach to people. And also on Google, when you type many times, it shows the results of Pinterest also, which is great, right?
It does. Pinned content can help you get on the first page of Google, but I want to elaborate on, I haven't heard that marketing rule from Google yet, at least not to that degree. So I want to touch on that and how it does align with Pinterest or just evergreen repurposing content, which is what I eat, sleep, and breathe anyway, of working smarter, not harder. If it does that much, because that is overwhelming, and I think that would be overwhelming not just to introverts but an extrovert as well. Like, you would have to have some sort of rest built into your schedule. So with this is where the importance of repurposing content into these variety of ways. So if you, as a business owner, love writing long form content like blogs, or you get really energized about creating opt-in freebies to like just help as many people as you can, and then funnel them throughout your email newsletter, then spend your time, energy, and effort into, I'll use blog as an example, as creating that blog post, making sure it's optimized for Google and searchability, discoverability, and all of that. All the keywords are in there. It's written very well. Maybe has a pop-up window halfway through or whatever that leads to something else, but really focus on that one blog content. But then, and I will recommend AI tools for this, take that blog content and put it into an AI tool to break it down for the 4 different platforms that your people hang out at. There are 570 million monthly active million monthly users on Pinterest worldwide. So your people are on Pinterest. You don't know it yet, but they are. In the United States alone, there's 98 million monthly active users. So even if we want to talk about United States only, but worldwide, your people are on Pinterest. They don't know what they're looking for because 96% of these monthly active users they're unbranded searches. So they know that they have a problem. They want to grow a business, but they don't know that they need a business coach. They don't know if they need a social media strategist or marketer, consultant. Do they need a virtual assistant? They don't know what they need. They just know, I'm going to grow this business. I want to change my life. I want to be a better mother. I want to be a better, calmer woman. And that's all they know. And so they're going to search to try and figure out what that means for them. And that's where your content comes into play. So AI tools can help you break down that one amazing piece of content that you put together and break it down into the different platforms for like Pinterest, Instagram, Reels on Instagram can be repurposed into TikTok videos, and you don't even have to make 2 videos. You're just now repurposing, but now you're on 3 platforms. You can break that blog into an email newsletter if you have an active email list that you're utilizing. It's already on your website, but you can share it on another platform. I think it's called Substack, is something where you can share blog content. You can take that blog and turn it into a LinkedIn newsletter. There's another one, all without you having to make new content. You're just repurposing the gold that you are creating already. And then turn that into stories. Stories can then be repurposed onto Pinterest. All of it kind of comes full circle and creates a nice little web. But all of that starts with knowing your keywords. And honestly, the ways that you like to connect with your audience, whether that's blogs, podcasts, YouTube videos, who knows?
I'm an advocate of repurposing also, because we need to have time to live our life also, right? Business need to be part of our life and not the opposite. Nowadays there are so many tools available that can help us to grow our business in easier way. We are in such a great era to make our business grow faster, because we didn't have these tools in the past years. You talked about something interesting, which is the repurposing of reels to shorts to TikTok. Is it also possible to put reels on Pinterest? Because on Pinterest I see videos normally from ads, products, but I believe I already saw someone in the service-based business with videos there also. So is it possible? Is it a good idea to do that? Or what is the best type of content for not only introvert fempreneurs, but for for service-based business?
So those are called video pins. Video content is big on no matter what platform you're on. So I always, again, with repurposing, I feel like I am repeating myself. I apologize. But they have different purposes, essentially. So video pins help with showing your personality, especially if you're one to put your face on the video. It helps them connect with you on a more personal, intimate level, because they get to see your face, they get to hear your voice, they see who you are as a person. So that is really great to repurpose. I repurpose my reels all the time, and any kind of video content that I have. But there's static pins where you can do like list, infographics, share testimonials, those things. Those do well with educational and informational pins, and those are called static pins. You can do carousel pins where you have, you break things down into a little bit more and shuffle through. I don't see those used as often, but they do exist. And then something called an idea pin. I don't think it's called an idea pin anymore, but it's a static pin, but each item on the pin is linked to a different thing. So I see it mostly with outfits. So you can go to click on the shirt, and then it'll take you to the link on wherever the product page is. And then you can do the same thing with like their pants or their shoes, if you're a boutique and have all of those things. Or if you're an affiliate marketer, you can use your affiliate links in the same way. So it just depends on what your goals are and the type of pins you need.
This is a little bit similar with, I don't know if Instagram still has it, but when I had my product-based business, Instagram had something like that, where we could put the price of the item and direct people clicked there and would go to the website or to the online store. So, and I don't know if it's called still the pin idea, but I have a friend who also has a product-based business, and she's big on Pinterest, and she already told me about pin ideas, but I don't think I ever used those. It's very, very interesting also. Yes. So for those who are considering starting on Pinterest, because nowadays I'm a very a lover of the DIY search and try to do by myself. But through the years, I understood that that's the long road, and many times we take more time to grow our business and get more frustrated, and sometimes we quit just a little bit before we have the breakthrough, right? So for those who are considering Pinterest for their online business, in service-based business, which are the considerations they need to have? What are the awareness they need to have?
The first one that I feel like is worth saying is that Pinterest is not something to expect to go viral on. It is a slow burn or slow build, but once momentum is built, then you will see consistent growth. So I always tell people it'll probably take up to 6 months of pinning consistently and finding what works for you and keywords and trends and things like that. But that gives you the ability to go through multiple seasons, and then you'll start seeing the cycle of, every end of year, beginning of new year, you're going to see an uptick in vision boards, mood boards, goal setting, productivity, time management, all of those things that have to do with resolutions or your word of the year. And so, but you have to start pinning that stuff now. So you're not going to see the fruits of pinning that labor right now. You'll see it 6 months from now when people are starting to do it. But if you wait to pin it in 6 months, it's not going to be found as easily because it's going to be new and hasn't gone through the algorithm of Pinterest and being built on. So to get started, to set up like a strong foundation, I do recommend everyone get a Pinterest business account. It is free. If you have a website, claim that, write your bio, create 8 to 10 boards that, showcase your offers, the topics that are of most interest to your ideal clients, maybe some frequently asked questions that already answers their pain points or helps them see a futuristic, oh, this is where I can be, and this is how they find it. Use Pinterest search bar to discover what terms are people already using. That's an easy way to do it. You can look at trends, and that'll look at what's upcoming. But then once you have your account all set up, you can get that done in 2 hours. So just have a CEO day of getting Pinterest set up, and then you can be done. Then take an hour a month to look at your existing content. Choose 2 to 4 pieces that you already have done, not something you're upcoming with. Oh, I'm going to write that tomorrow. Look at your existing content and think, what do I already have that educates, what inspires or informs my audience of what you want them to know, how they can help you, how they can learn, how they can grow by working with you in whatever capacity. You don't need brand new content for Pinterest. You just need to look at things with a different viewpoint. And then for each piece of content, I always do about 10, but that's my sweet spot. I can make 10 pins easily per blog post or per podcast and break it down. So focus on, but if that's overwhelming, then start smaller. Do 3 to 5 pins per piece of content. And if you have 4 blogs, that's 20 pins. That's one for almost every day of the month. And then you can repin those, and then you have one for every day. But you want to focus your content on your pin content, like the headlines, the overlays, pin titles, descriptions, on the benefits of what it is that they're going to get. So instead of wedding blog or wedding timeline, it would be 5 summer wedding planning tips. You're getting the specific and you're listing the benefits. And then schedule them like we already talked about. Batch it. I love batching. Use the native scheduler inside Pinterest. Get Tailwind if that is within your budget, and schedule it out for the entire month. Start with just one per day, and you can see, you'll start to see a difference eventually. And then I do analytics every month just to see what content is resonating the most, and then I make more of that. I'm not gonna keep recreating the wheel, but that's a solid, like, easy 5-step process to get started. And then all of that combined is maybe 5 hours total, and one doesn't even repeat because your business account will already be done. So it's basically an hour a week of creating content, batching it out, looking at analytics, and then you just repeat that process.
I love that. You made a checklist. Wonderful.
I love
wonderful.
checklists.
Yes, they are so helpful, right? Because we don't need to overthink every time. We just need to go there, and each time we make the process, we understand, oh, I need to do this, and I didn't put the in the checklist yet. So yes, I love checklists also. It's so helpful. Do you want, I think not, because you already gave such a great checklist, but do you have anything else you want to share, some inspiring, some to give courage to the ones who are considering this journey? You are already told that it's not a one-time thing and it's not a day-to-night success, but if you want
that's
to,
what I was going to elaborate on a little bit more with, like, what those 6 months looks like and what to expect. So the first 2 months, you can expect to obviously build your foundation. Impressions will begin increasing. So impressions are just when your pin content shows up in the search feed. Organically, what someone is searching for this, and somehow the keywords tie in and it just naturally showed up, they were able to see it. Pins are going to get indexed by Pinterest. They're going to start recognizing the content that you're creating and making sure that it gets in front of the right people. By month 3, hopefully, as long as your keywords are working, we're looking at the analytics, your website clicks should start to grow. Most traffic is going to come from those a few strong pins, and that's why we look at the analytics to see which ones are working best, and we want to replicate that type of content or pin content, and maybe even focus on that blog if it's about a certain blog or a certain podcast episode. What themes is pulling that, making those strong pins. And so we want to make more of that so that we get people to your website or wherever it is that you want to lead them. Months 4 through 6, your evergreen content, those pins are going to start gaining traction because now people are starting to search your pinning content ahead of time. So you're going to hopefully by then see leads, email signups, or sales from your top pins. After about 6 months, Pinterest becomes that reliable source of passive traffic as long as you keep it consistent. Pins from months ago can still perform for you so that you don't have to chase algorithms, learn a dance move. What's the most trending popular song right now? All of the things.
Yes, this is great. And you were talking, and I was thinking about the importance also of visual coherence, right? The visual branding coherence and consistency. So among all of those pins, people can, through time, identify which is yours.
Yes. So that's knowing that comes at the beginning of your brand, colors, fonts, and all of that. So, but by the time you get on Pinterest, you probably already have that figured out, unless you were like me and you rebranded and you had to find all new colors. But yes, that helps. So if you lead them to your website, I've seen clients in the past where their website did not align or even match the pin content that I was creating for them, or the Instagram content that they were creating for themselves. Both were showing a more high-end service touch point professional, and the website needed a serious overhaul and didn't match. So it was almost like connecting with two very different people. And so we were seeing impressions, we were seeing link clicks, but the conversion was almost a dead stop once they got to the website. So that consistency is important to have across the board, whether it's pin content, website content, Instagram, YouTube, what have you.
Thank you so much for being here, Dana. Tell us where we can find you. Please, I will leave the links below in the description. So tell us where we can connect with you.
So you'll find me most often on Instagram. So it's instagram.com/danas.desk.nc, and I spend the majority of my marketing minutes on there, just trying to educate people on how to repurpose their content onto Pinterest. I also would highly recommend people check out the Styled Pin collection to eliminate that design stress, and get those pro level templates that can be plug and play, easily customized in just minutes. It takes a lot of the stress out of that piece of it.
Thank you so much, and thank you for those who watch it live. We don't have any questions, but for those who are watching the replay, leave your questions if you have any questions to Dana, and I will share with her. This live is recorded on 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦 community. It's a free community on Facebook, and if you are very welcome to join also if you are watching this on YouTube. So the links are below also, and the links to connect with Dana will be also in the description. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you again, Dana. It was such a great and amazing conversation we had. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.